Hello and welcome to ARIRANG News Break on this Thursday, June 16th. Live from Seoul, I'm Han-daeun. Korea's Saenuri Party has regained its status as the largest party in parliament after losing it in a recent election by welcoming back heavyweight members who left. The party's interim leadership body decided Thursday to welcome back 7 lawmakers who left right before the general election in April due to internal feuds over the candidate nomination process. 4 of them, including former floor leader Yoo Sung-min, have already filed applications and won immediate approval to rejoin the party. The party expects the other 3 members to submit applications as well. With the decision, the ruling Saenuri Party now has 126 of the Assembly's 300 seats, making it the largest party once again. The main opposition, Minju Party of Korea, has 122 seats. Constitutional revision has become a hot-button issue in Korea's political scene. The newly named National Assembly Speaker Chung Se-kyun has vowed to revise the Constitution within his term, though he didn't give many details as of yet. Shin Se-min has more.
National Assembly Speaker Chung Se-kyun says that revising the Constitution is a task that must be done during the 20th National Assembly. During his first press conference since he became Speaker, Chung said the issue is no longer a subject of debate, but a matter of will. He said politicians should work together to create a set of laws that are suitable for Korean society as it is today, not as it was when the Constitution was established 30 years ago. He promised the 20th Assembly would take up the job of revising the Constitution before its 4-year term ends. He didn't say when or how it would happen, but did say Parliament would consult with the political parties and gather public opinion before putting the revision into action. Chung raised the issue Monday during his speech at the opening ceremony for the 20th National Assembly. Shin Se-min, ARIRANG News.
South Korean Foreign Minister Yoon Byung-se, who's on a trip to Bulgaria, got support from his Bulgarian counterpart on countering North Korea's nuclear ambitions. Here's Foreign Ministry correspondent Kwon So-ah with more.
Bulgaria's Foreign Minister Daniel Mitov says his country supports the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. He also vowed to thoroughly implement the UN sanctions on the regime, as well as the independent sanctions from the EU. He made the remarks during talks with Seoul's top diplomat Yoon Byung-se in Sofia Wednesday, a meeting deemed important for South Korea's efforts to bolster cooperation with countries close to Pyongyang. While South Korea and Sofia established diplomatic ties in 1990, Sofia and Pyongyang's relationship dates back to 1948. Since then, Bulgaria has provided aid to North Korea during wartime. The two countries have engaged in cooperation in culture and science, and the North's founding leader Kim Il-sung visited Bulgaria twice. Kwon So-ah, ARIRANG News.
As widely expected, the U.S. Federal Reserve has held interest rates steady. But the Fed also sees more gradual hikes in the future in light of sluggish growth in the United States. Hwang Ji-hye has more on that.
The Federal Reserve has kept its key rate steady at between 0.25% and 0.5%. The decision made at the U.S. Central Bank's June meeting on Wednesday comes as the country deals with an uncertain job market.
Now the labor market appears to have slowed down, and we need to assure ourselves that the underlying momentum in the economy has not diminished.
The Fed chair added that growing concerns among investors that Britain might leave the European Union were also a factor in the bank's decision.
Clearly, this is a very important decision for the United Kingdom and for Europe. It is a decision that could have consequences for economic and financial conditions in global financial markets.
Those uncertainties, coupled with an economy that show few signs of returning to full strength in the near future, also led the Fed to predict more gradual hikes over the next few years. When it raised rates for the first time in nearly a decade in December, the Fed forecast 4 hikes this year. But now projections following the Fed's rate announcement for this month show that 15 Out of its 17, policymakers expect no more than 2 increases this year. The Fed also cut its growth projection for the U.S. economy to 2% for this year from a 2.2% outlook in March. Hwang Jie, ARIRANG News.
South Korea has arrested a Chinese captain and 2 crewmen who fled with 14 Korean Coast Guard officers on board during a crackdown on illegal fishing in the upper West Sea. The Incheon Coast Guard says the 3 Chinese men are charged with fleeing after they crossed 8 kilometers over the northern limit line near Yeonpyeongdo Island. The 50-ton Chinese fishing boat had seized some 45 kilograms of fish after crossing into South Korean waters. The crackdown seems to be effective, however, as the number of illegal Chinese fishing boats operating in the West Sea has been drastically reduced. Authorities saw only about 30 Chinese boats operating in the West Sea as of Thursday, whereas about 200 boats were found before a crackdown at the beginning of this month. After months of will he or won't he, we now have confirmation that South Korean swimmer Park Tae-hwan will not be boarding a flight to this year's Olympics in Rio. The Korean Olympic Committee says the 2008 400-meter freestyle champion has been ruled out of the Games because of his recent doping history. Under the committee's rules, athletes who have failed drug tests aren't eligible to become a member of the national team for 3 years after the end of their suspension period. Park's doping ban began retroactively in September 2014 and ended in March this year. The 26-year-old had taken his Olympic ban to the world's top sports tribunal, and there had been speculation the committee might make an exception for the former Olympic champion, but the KOC maintains no exceptions will be made. And that wraps it up. Thank you for watching. I'll be back with more of the day's quick headlines, same time tomorrow. Thank you for watching.